Hey guys, I'm just having a coffee and I have to say it again, the Blue Lagoon soap opera, my friend, the Blue Lagoon. There's another report for you guys in this video because, and this is not a good incident, an incident has happened and someone has ended up in the hospital. And what else is, lava could flow over the defense walls north of Grindavik. That's also in this video. And of course, what is the whole situation? What is going on? The activity of the volcano has been fairly constant over the past 24 hours. So the same eruption parts, the same vents that still appear to be active, and the craters continue to form around them. The lava flows south from the craters into an active lava river on the surface and below the solidified surface of the lava. So below and on top of it. And the lava flow from the craters between March 17th and March 20th is about 14.5 cubic meters per second, because yesterday they were experts from the land survey of Iceland. They went on a survey flight over the eruption craters, and based on the data that they collected during that flight, it is estimated that the average lava flow from the craters in that period is these 14.5 cubic meters per second, which that is similar to the lava flow that was measured in the volcanic eruptions at Fagradalsfjall between 2021 and 2023. But we have to note that there was much more lava flow from the current craters in the first 24 hours of the eruption that has begun in the evening of March 16th. So right now, where the lava is spread out, that area spans 5.58 square kilometers, and the magma volume that has come out, and that is interesting, is 20.9 million cubic meters. And you have to note, we have always seen before, it was saying, well, if the magma chamber has reached a volume of around between 8 and 13 million cubic meters, it has reached its level of elasticity, and then it will trigger a magma run that will end up in an intrusion or an eruption. And we noticed that the last few days they said, well, it seems like the reservoir is being fed by a deeper magma reservoir, so everything that's flowing into the chamber is flowing right out into the eruption. So that's why we probably have 20.9 million cubic meters, because it was refilling. Now maybe the refilling process has stopped, but I'll get into this shortly. But I thought I'll let you know about this at the beginning, because this is really very, very interesting and a little bit of mind-blowing that it's really that much. And then the Met Office has released this map here that shows the extent and the thickness of the lava since yesterday morning, March 20, and it shows that the lava is in some areas over 16 meters thick. The thickest areas are, of course, closest to where the lava is coming out, because it's forming these craters there. But you can see the red areas, you can see the red lines on that map. That's the defense walls of Grindavik. And then you can see how the lava is building up, and the red areas there were anywhere in the range between 8 and 12 meters in height. And remember, the defense walls are roughly 8 meters in height, and we'll talk about what's going to happen and what could happen to Grindavik in this video. So let's get into more detail. The eruption keeps going, and with that the lava keeps flowing. And the phenomenon that has happened the last few days, the lava area, it didn't move forward that much anymore. You know, they were worried that it would flow over the road and then into the sea. But then it has really, really slowed down. And instead of moving forward, it was moving upwards. So also we have seen around the fountains where the magma is coming out of the ground, craters have formed. So now it looks more like a volcanic crater, because you know the magma comes coming out, or the lava. If it's coming out, it's called lava. If it's still in the ground, it's magma. So the lava is running over the edges and building up the edges, and then it keeps flowing over the lava that has already flowed. So the lava carpet, I always call it carpet because it's like spreading out, is getting higher and higher. And while the lava was running fast and while it was being very, very liquid, it was easy for the lava to flow along the defense walls and around the defense walls. That has worked super, super great. But the problem is, since this eruption is still going, and it has been going on for way longer than previous eruptions, it is building up this lava carpet, and it's building up in height. And then imagine, guys, if the new lava flows on top of that carpet, it could reach a height, the same height like these defense walls, and that would allow the lava to flow over the defense walls, and then it would flow right into Grindavik. And that's the problem. That's why they're thinking about increasing the height of the defense walls in order to react to that new reality that now we're having a different problem with the lava. Another thing that they have mentioned, that the Icelandic Meteorological Office has mentioned, is that the magma is flowing out of that magma chamber, and it looks like the land rise is not continuing. So they're saying that they're not measuring any continuing land rise anymore in the Swartsengi area and around the magma tunnel. But they say caution is needed. It is not possible right now to declare officially that the land rise has stopped until they have more time to carry out measurements over a longer period of time. So what would that mean? Could that mean, since the eruption is still going, that the magma chamber is not being refilled by a deeper lying magma reservoir anymore? So could this be that this reservoir, it's emptying itself out in this eruption? So is everything coming out and then maybe it stops? It's way too early. It will take a few days to a week of measuring that area to assess whether this land rise is still active at Swartsengi. But it is definitely clear right now that the magma that has been previously collected under Swartsengi and that has caused this eruption is now mostly coming up to the surface directly because it is feeding this eruption. There is still lava flow to the southeast in the direction of the road that I just mentioned, Suðurstrandarvegur, but also to the west towards the defenses that are north of Grindavik. So this is the situation that we have with the eruption, the lava flow, and the land rise. So if this materializes in the next few days, that the land's not rising anymore, it could mean that this cycle is interrupted. This cycle of basically one eruption or intrusion per month could be interrupted. But as I said, it's too early to say anything about that. The lava was flowing into a gravel pit that they have been using to source material to build their defense walls. So that was not good because now they can't use that anymore. But they're saying they have another one that they haven't used for a while, so they could reactivate that area to get the material. Because in the Swartsengi area, when they started to build the protection walls around the Swartsengi area, like the power plant and the Blue Lagoon, there was a lot of material there. They're building this out of lava rocks. So there was a lot of material that they can just push together and build these walls. They did not need to truck it and get it from somewhere else. But they did have to do that for the defense walls that they built in Grindavik. And since they want to make them higher and they keep working on the defense walls around Grindavik, they need material. So that's why it's not pleasant that this area where they were sourcing their material has been basically destroyed right now by the lava flow. And okay, guys, what has happening in and around the Blue Lagoon? So an employee of the Blue Lagoon had to be hospitalized yesterday after experiencing symptoms of gas poisoning that was caused by the volcanic eruption at the Sutnuka crater series, right? So what does that tell us? Well, it's not that super safe, right? The Blue Lagoon is not far enough away from the action. So lava could flow, but also gases. At the moment, it is only one person that seems to be ill from that. The police in Sudurns have stated that they are not aware that more people have been affected by this. The police, of course, has been on the scene at the Blue Lagoon since noon today to assess the situation, and also the security director of operations in Grindavik will meet with representatives of the Blue Lagoon. Thankfully, that worker is said to be on the mend, on the road to recovery. That has been stated in an announcement from the Blue Lagoon. The worker was working outdoors around the reservoir with a backhoe, and then he needed to seek medical help because he got respiratory symptoms and felt very ill. So later on, it was diagnosed as gas pollution, and he was examined there and then was allowed to go home later on from the hospital and is now in recovery. So that is good. And it seems that this gas pollution has hit the area where the worker was working, and the Blue Lagoon has been closed since the last eruption. We know that, so that is good that there's no tourists in the area and in the water. But there are no gas meters in the area where that happened, and that raises a big question mark, right? It was said in a notice of the Blue Lagoon that the security guards of the reservoir carry gas meters and that the air quality around the reservoir is monitored. Well, if it was monitored, why did this happen then? That's my question. So they're saying there are also local gas meters in several places, both indoors and outdoors. However, there was no such meter in the area where the person was working yesterday. So on the one hand, they say the area is being monitored, but on the other hand, well, it is not, right? So this is a flaw, and unfortunately that guy had to suffer from that flaw. So that is, for me, thankfully, nothing bad has happened, but it is kind of similar to the incident where the worker fell into the crack. It's just been not enough caution, in my opinion, right? I mean, it's always say after something happens, it's always easy to say, well, yeah, I should have done this and should have done that. But, you know, since all that stuff has been going on for like months now, and one worker has lost its life in Grindavik by falling and disappearing, vanishing into a huge crack that had opened, a crack that had been previously filled, right? So, and Swartsengi had to be evacuated 2 days ago for a short period of time because of gas pollution. So this is my question. Why was there no immediate reaction to make sure that everyone who's walking around there has a gas detector meter, and that really everything is covered before anyone is out in this area? Because you never know. And it was just yesterday, I haven't reported about this, it was in another area, there was pollution meters failing. I mean, they actually did the opposite. They said there is pollution, although it didn't really make sense that there would be gas pollution in this area, but the meters did fail. So it's not a pleasant incident. I'm just glad that there's no tourists in the area at this time. The police and the labor inspectorates are informed about this incident, and they have already requested cooperation with the Icelandic MET Office regarding the installations of more measuring equipment at the Blue Lagoon in the area of Swartsengi in order to be able to monitor the air quality in more detail. That's what they announced. But gosh, couldn't you have done that earlier, right? So that work will be conducted by experts from the engineering firm that's called EFLA. And the Blue Lagoon makes a statement that they're basically frustrated by the incident. Well, I'm frustrated by that incident as well. They're saying we are, of course, disturbed by this incident and we take it very seriously. We are on good terms with the employee in question and we are very grateful that it did not turn out worse. Yes, I am too. Because they're taking their chances repeatedly with the tourists and the employees. We would also like to thank our employees who responded quickly and well. That's been said by Helga Anna Dottir. She's the manager there, the manager of sales, operations, and services at the Blue Lagoon. So yeah, guys, what can I say? It's not good. And for me, this confirms again, this place needs to take care of people in the area better. And in order to take care of the people in this area, they should have no people in this area right now while this eruption is going on. But also, if there is a warning that the magma chamber has filled up and that there could be an eruption in the next few days, close it down. Do not wait to the last minutes. And I have read a lot of your comments that you did under my last video where people have told their stories, what happened to them during evacuation, during bookings, or when they wanted to go there and what they've been told by employees and stuff like this. And I also reported about a school class that had a booking for the Blue Lagoon, but thankfully the teachers were smart enough to not do that and go to another lagoon instead to keep the kids safe. So they were lucky and they prevented the kids from having to go through an evacuation and stuff like this. But the Blue Lagoon did not say, hey, we might see an eruption and it might be another emergency evacuation. We just want to let you know about that if you come with school kids. So maybe consider that and maybe don't come with school kids. Nope, nothing. And then some of you have reported, yes, you have looked at the website of the Blue Lagoon and you wrote me, yeah, we tried, to pretend we're tourists. So we want to book a stay at the Blue Lagoon, where you go to the website and you did not get any information. You were not made aware during the booking process of what is going on. So what can we say? Many people, I read your comments, you all have the feeling that this is swept under the rug. And I have also read a comment that you called like tourist agencies and were asking if it's safe there, and there was not much information given. And that's why I'm criticizing and why I continue to criticize this, because there's not enough transparency so that people can make an informed decision. So guys, this was a short update, or maybe not so short, but it was an update. And of course, another update is coming later today. But I wanted to let you know about this before I go out and have to do my farm work today. I hope you're having a great day, evening, night, and morning, wherever you are. I mean, I'm sort of having a midday coffee to keep me going. And thanks, guys, for your wonderful, nice, and kind comments, and for your support for the coffee on my buymeacoffee.com site, and for the supers here. It means a lot, guys. And if you're new here, subscribe, guys, and leave it a like. And if you're not new here, leave it a like as well. That would be great. I see you very soon, guys. Bye bye.